Hello! Hi, party people. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. Oh, my. How about those Dodgers people? Good evening to all and all of our ships at sea. Thank you so much for joining us here on post-game, whatever the heck this is, or whatever we've decided it is. We're going to come up with a title for the show, hopefully before the World Series is over. But that may not be much too long from now, to be frank and or honest with you. It's looking really good for your Los Angeles Dodgers, who tonight have taken a 3-0 lead in the World Series. I can't believe it. I can believe it. I just about lost it when we started giving up homers in the bottom of the ninth. However, it all turned out great, did it not? And we're going to break down a little bit of the fun of tonight's game. And I am excited because we have not one but two special guests tonight, and we'll bring them on in just a moment. First, I just wanted to say if we have any new viewers out there, and I've invited a lot of people to come and see this, and maybe some of the guests have invited people. We're silly. It's just silliness, is all it is. And we're not professionals. We're amateurs who are longtime baseball fans and enjoy a good baseball game like we saw tonight. And so, if I may be so bold as to introduce our first guest, and these people will be coming on concurrently. I'm also producing the show by telling them what we're going to do while we are setting it up. It's a longtime legend in the San Luis Obispo County, California, and or Santa Barbara County, California sports scene, the long-serving sports anchor at KSBY San Luis Obispo. Please welcome Mr. Mitch Massey. Mitch, how are you tonight?
Hey, I took your wife's advice through what she texted last night. Hey, we need to change up the outfit, so
I see. Yeah.
I'm doing it. It's
Nice.
different, and so are you, different superstitions. But
Yeah.
you know what? The team's overcoming our wardrobe malfunction, so to speak, and it's great.
Yeah.
Three,
Oh,
3-0, and America had this song, "A Horse with No Name."
yeah.
Here's what it is. It's a show with no name.
That's
There
right.
you
I've
and
been through the dancer. Oh, I don't want to get a copyright strike, so I'm going to stop singing right there. Also, we are super excited to be joined by America's favorite Phillies fan. You know her, you love her, you can't live without her. It's former KCAL and KTLA reporter Amy Huggins. Amy, how are you, sweetie? You doing good tonight?
Colin,
what?
I'm great, and I just want to say I told you so. There's
Yes.
nothing, there's no such thing as jinx or oh no, you got
Right.
one and this in the bag.
I
I
think we need
mean,
to
after the
explain.
first inning, it was over. I told you that.
Well, this is what happened. Amy and I obviously are dear friends for a long time, and she sends me a text early in the game saying, "It's over. The Yankees are done. It's all dead. It's all." And I'm like, "No, you stop! Don't send that. You're tempting the baseball gods." And as we all know, the baseball gods are real, regardless of whatever you believe personally. I do believe the baseball gods are real. But anyhow, it did turn out, and then up until the homer given up at the with 2 outs in the ninth, I thought we were going to avoid the trouble, altogether. But as it turned out, it turns out the Dodgers still won 4-2.
Were
And
you weren't really worried by that, were you? Because again,
by the
as
text or the
the
homer,
I mean, I'm not an emotion. I have no emotion in this. I would like to see the Dodgers win. I frankly find it hilarious that the Yankees, like, hello, there's a ball game in the Bronx. Please show up. It
yeah,
started an hour ago. I mean, that's funny to me. But
oh,
yeah,
Aaron
you
Judge
weren't
got on
really
base
worried.
tonight.
That's why, like, if it were the Phillies, I would be worried. But I was
Right,
watching, going, no, they've got nothing.
right.
You
Well,
weren't worried, were you?
I was worried because really all you have to do is get Juan Soto up there with the tying run on, and it's already back to palpitations. And we had an almost entirely palpitation free event, and I was in favor of that as a Dodger fan. I would like this to be over. I would like the Dodgers to claim the World Series for this year because I do think that, as they've proven, they are the best team. This is not just my fandom speaking. I've been a fan of them obviously for almost all my life, and they're really great. But I don't know, Mitch, how are you feeling about the Yankees' attitude on the field tonight? Did they look as bad as Amy thinks they felt?
First of all, Amy, it's delightful to meet you. You always want to see the person behind the penmanship, and I'm thinking, my God, welcome. This is cool. We're all basically TV journalists, producer type people, and so we all deserve each other. It is like watching a game where your team is so superior, especially emotionally. They're just coming, they're just coming, and you're just toying with the other team. And when you look at the Yankees, I mean, you pretty much take the ninth inning out of the last couple games, and they're really not scoring any runs, and they're averaging 2 runs a game. And this give the Dodger pitching every move that Dave Roberts has made
Yeah.
has been just too legend, meaning, hey, it's just all working. And considering, obviously, before the playoffs started, nice regular season, we have no pitching. And now your first 3 pitchers have done exactly what's needed. The Yankees, third pitcher, you can't even get through the third inning. So it's really, they're emotionally just like, now what do we do? But they don't have any spark. There is no spark.
Yeah. And for a team that, I really thought, right from the opening, when Los Angeles won the rap battle, of Ice
Ah, that
Cube
was
versus
fun.
Fat Joe or whatever. Oh goodness, I don't know what that was, but there are no other rappers in the greater New York City area who are available. This is like, maybe in this, I don't want to be like, out of touch completely, but come on. We couldn't get a Jay-Z, a somebody from the Boogie Down Bronx, someone from, I don't know. There's so many great, the history of hip hop is written in New York City, and I felt like they really missed an opportunity to tie into that.
Well, you go to the star quality, and I'm sitting with Nancy. I was driving back from Santa Barbara in the first 7, 8 innings. I'm trying to. We've all driven. I'm guessing, Colin, you've driven it
Oh,
enough.
yeah.
That stretch between Santa Barbara to Santa Maria. It's like, are there any radio stations anywhere?
Exactly.
I'm trying to catch one out of LA, and then I have to go to another one, and it's basically trying to catch every ninth word. And then
Right.
I'm like Gamecast. Okay, I think that's happening. And then the Gamecast is head of the radio, and it's like, what is really going on here? So all that aside, Nancy and I, when I got here, we're sitting, and they said, "Here's the New York celebrities," and there were 2 of us. Who is that?
Craig Carton.
It's like
Carton. Who is that?
Well,
He's
New
on it.
York brings forward Paul Giamatti, who's a great actor in his own right.
Yes.
We come forward with Tom Hanks. You make the comparison.
Yeah. Well, as we were saying on one of the chats that I'm on, that's Star Trek's Paul Giamatti, because he's signed up to be on the new Starfleet Academy show coming next year to Paramount Plus.
I
With
don't
Holly
live
Hunter,
in your
of all
universe.
people, Holly Hunter and Paul Giamatti on a Star Trek show with Tatiana Maslany. What is going on, Star Trek? What are you doing? Amy, if you are such a big proponent of team vibe, team chemistry, and your Phillies have been so known for having this attitude. What is the biggest thing you see missing from the Yankees, as they apparently have decided to skip the World Series?
A team vibe, attitude, as you say.
Yeah.
They truly, they just look totally like they are not there. I mean, it's almost a negative. It's not, oh, they're just not hitting. It's a bad time. They've run into a cool streak. It's negative that there's just nothing. And because they couldn't do anything, I understand you can't ask the fans, nor would they voluntarily get all jazzed and excited, but there was no energy from the crowd because there was nothing to be excited about. So forgive me, if this were the Phillies ahead 3-0 in the World Series, I'd be ecstatic, wonderful. But as a baseball fan, this has been incredibly boring, except for that Freddie Freeman home run. It's been an entirely, as every game, okay, it's always at the end something happens, but every game it gets to the 8th inning and they've been boring. Although I'll take boring and winning, great. But as far as the Yankees concerned, this has been a snooze fest, and I'm seeing him now on TV. Shohei Ohtani doesn't even matter. He's done nothing. I'm not criticizing him. I'm just saying they don't even need him, and the Yankees can't beat the Dodgers.
Yeah.
It's been very workmanlike. Is just okay. Yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
Kind of, this is what's expected. Okay, they get it out. Here comes the pitcher, and everything's expected. And there was a stat which Joe Davis said right towards the very end. Only once in this World Series is they have the Yankees put together 2 hits in a row. That's unbelievable.
That's unbelievably awful.
Yes,
Rob,
well
Rob
said.
Carlskin chimes in with,
Yeah.
did anyone else see the 2 black women sitting in Giuliani's usual seat? Yeah, that would be Ruby and her daughter from Atlanta, who I think got I don't think they were sitting in Rudy's actual seat there. Dodgers pitching has been a wet blanket on fun, says Scott Larson. Yes, may the wet blanketing continue. I'm in favor of it quite highly. But it has been I understand for people who are not fans of either of these 2 specific franchises, this may have been a less than compelling series. It's funny because I keep thinking of it in relation to the announced Ron Howard documentary about this series that is coming in the spring to Apple TV or whatever. They're doing like an all access behind the scenes Dodgers, Yankees, whatever.
Oh, that's going to be
You-
about 3 minutes long.
well, you think about I think about like the moments, right? The Freddie moment is an incredible cap to kind of act 1, right? The Shohei injury is an incredible moment at the back of act 2, but it does, I mean, and then tonight, I don't know what the beating pulse of tonight's game was. Maybe Freddie's early homer, and then just like the, near flatlining of the New York offense and the New York vibe. And they're just, you're right, Amy, they just do seem completely out of it.
Well, they, as the term would be used, of totally shut down. Freeman
Yes.
hitting the 2-run home run. The Yankee fans want to get excited about something. All of a sudden, oh, here we go again. And their hands are under their legs, and we're just going to sit on them. And there was nothing to get excited about. Then in the 9th inning, okay, ho hum, a 2-run home
Yeah.
run. Now, if someone gets on base now, as you said, you'll need to get your anxiety medicine out, as we all will, and just say, oh, please no, don't collapse. But it's not like one team is giving it away. The Dodgers have just gone and taken it away.
Yeah.
They have taken it away. And you know what? For me, looking for something to cheer, and this is not meant to be political, but when Kike Hernandez, I think he drove in a run. This is what I say: go Puerto Rico.
Take that, New York.
I mean, that's what I was like. Okay, yeah, you show them.
Yeah, it was
Amy, I adore you. Way to go.
when you come to the ballpark and your team's in the World Series, you expect there to be a certain buzz, a certain electricity, a certain excitement or whatever. But yeah, this has really been just a complete.
Did you also near the end of the
World
game?
Series.
Oh, Colin, excuse
No, go
me.
ahead.
I'm
Yeah,
so
go.
excited to be on the show. I'm stepping on you. It may have been in the 8th inning. I don't think it was in the 9th inning. I heard a smattering of boos when there were a couple of 2 quick outs. Did you hear that? And I said to my sister, who's not here.
Hi, Gail.
Oh, good.
Okay, so I said to my sister, oh my God, it's the World Series. You're doing horribly. And I understand why booing. But again, if that were the Phillies being booed in the World Series in their home stadium, wow.
Yeah.
That's just bad.
Rough.
And I understand why people do it. I'm not a booer and I don't like it. But that's how bad it was, that there were some Yankees fans booing.
We will see. There is a game tomorrow, Scott. I don't know if they're going to tell the Yankees. I'm not sure if they'll be there, but let's see how it goes. More Dodger support chiming in from Matthew. Thank you for joining us, Matthew. Appreciate it. Let's go.
We're not going to tell you what time to show up.
Well, somebody tell them the game's at 1 or something. Maybe they can come and get fired up early and then just hang around for whatever. Rob giving an enthusiastic yes, and I believe this was in response to Amy's slightly political comment about the
so well positioned. Well done. Yes.
And you know what too? Like Tommy Edman, I know he's of Korean descent. Yes, be proud.
Yeah.
Make
Colin.
This is part of why baseball, to me, other than the game, I love that it's such an international sport. and
Yeah.
people bring whatever it is that comes from their own cultures. And if
Yeah.
that is a sense of pride, that is fantastic.
Colin, do you notice the last name
I
on? Uh-huh.
I think we have family members chiming in.
That would be my oldest son. Yes.
Thank you, Morgan. Dodgers and Yankees 2025 World Series could happen. Certainly, they're both teams with proven track records of regular season success. And given that Ohtani returns to the mound, and maybe the Dodgers will get back half of the 55 pitchers who are on the disabled list, and we'll see how it goes.
Soto will probably become a Dodger.
Oh my God,
If you
no!
like that kind of talk.
No, I
going on.
think the Phillies might have
that's
something
too
to
much.
say about it. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I
Let's
think
see. Rob Karlskin. Oh, the Yankees retired. Well, Nestor certainly was tired from attending the Trump rally at MSG. Listen, here's let's keep
it's a
baseball
Seinfeld episode. It's a show about nothing.
No, it's a show about baseball. We're going to try to keep it on the baseball tip, I think. But yeah, so I obviously I do think it is still too early to look ahead to next year's World Series, but we'll see how it goes. I hope the Yankees can make a at least some kind of stand for it for their fans, for their whatever. But I do think that it will be very tough for the Yankee team as currently playing to win 4 games in a row, 2 at home, 2 on the road against the Dodgers. But you never count the chickens. You go ahead and just ask that Yankees team who lost to the Red Sox in
Did you see that
year the
stat?
Red Sox won.
Colin and Amy, did you see the stat? 25 teams World Series history that have gone up 3-0. 21 of the 25 have swept. The other ones were ended in 5 games.
Yeah.
So there's never been any kind of comeback once down 3-0.
Not even a game 6.
No, never. Yes, well said.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Look, it's a bullpen game tomorrow. Looking ahead, if we should, it looked like Dave was pretty judicious with his use of the bullpen tonight. People got a little work in. Didn't seem to lean on anybody for too long. Do we expect that we're going to see a lot of Landon Knack tomorrow, or a lot of
Honeywell?
Rick Honeywell?
Honeywell.
I always get confused with Rick Honeycutt. I always think they're bringing
Him too.
But yeah, I mean, is this for the bullpen game tomorrow? Is this a chance for the Yankees to at least make some noise? Amy, what do you think?
I'm just based on these last few games. I really, I'm kind of doubtful. I would love to see it as a fan, but because they've just had nothing in the tank for 3 games. I know it's the must-win game and all this, and what else I didn't listen to any of the post-game stuff, but I'm sure Aaron Boone said, yeah, we got to win tomorrow, and all. Yes, you do. But all of those types of, I get the cliches and whatnot, they're not really firing up type of.
And they have no one to throw. I mean, who's going to pitch for them? I
don't know who's going to pitch for them.
I don't know.
But frankly, if Aaron Judge could, I'm not even saying home runs, if they could just string together a few hits here and there and scratch out 3 runs or something, but that's even seemed impossible.
Yeah.
I kind of feel for them. Not really, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, we do have one question that didn't show up in the chat, but came in a text message, and I'll take the panel's answers on this one also, because, I think it's interesting. And this is from a New York resident called, Alana Campbell, my beloved sister. What is a reasonable amount of money to potentially see your team win a World Series, a subway ride away from your home? I don't know. What are the tickets going for? 700, 800, 1,000? I don't know. Where's your price point, Amy? If it was the Phillies and you lived in Philly and the game was coming, what would you be willing to pay to be there?
You mean if they were down 3-0?
No, if they were up, if they were going to win the World Series.
If they were going to win the World Series,
a Dodger fan.
For me, because even though that is so exciting, I actually think you can always see the game so much better on TV. It's just the thrill of saying I was there for game.
Right.
Maybe it wouldn't even be worth getting because there would be no tickets. I'd pay a couple $100, but yeah, stay home and watch. I don't know. What about you?
Attending a World Series clinching game does not have an appeal to you. That goes beyond like $250, maybe
I'll just
$300.
say the best that I ever did was, this is right the year the year before realignment and the Phillies, it was yet to be determined. I have the tickets printed up. My mother and I went, and it was the Phillies versus, it said on the ticket, like unknown Western Division. It was East and West. And the
Right.
Western Division champ ended up to be the Braves, and the Phillies ended up beating them. And we went to the two games in Philadelphia. I believe they won them both. It was so incredibly exciting, and it was so much fun. And we did have really good seats, and that was so wonderful, and it's a great memory. But
Yeah.
that's my closest thing to, and somebody gave us the tickets, so
Right.
we didn't have to
That's
pay.
even better.
Yeah, that made a difference, but I would love to, yes, if the Phillies, I would love to see them win the World Series. That would be exciting, but,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Morgan doing a little research for us, Mitch. The cheap ticket
Yes.
is $1,800. The most expensive is $60,000.
Oh,
Now,
come on.
listen, who's paying $60,000 for a baseball ticket? That's ridiculous.
Someone who makes $1
Um,
million a week.
I guess, but yikes, that's a little.
I think even somebody like Bill Gates, if you could write a check that's like a nickel for the rest of us, that's a lot of money for 60,000.
I don't know how. Yeah.
But my friend, I have a friend, big Dodger fan, who remained nameless because we would all kind of know him. But
Okay.
he has 4 tickets at the Dodger 4 tickets, and he's halfway. He's kind of off the angle of to the right. If you're looking at home plate from the outfield, just to the right, halfway up, first section. So they're good. They're good tickets.
Yeah.
And he was offered $40,000 for all 4. He says, "No way, no way." But the top price, I think we talked about the first night, Colin, was top price for right behind home plate. There was asking $80,000 per ticket, and all I know is all those seats were filled. So yeah. But if it's it's a Super Bowl kind of thing,
Right.
and what people pay for Super Bowls, one time for this, and it's just. It's
But the Super Bowl, is going to happen. The Dodgers winning the World Series, you don't know if that's going to happen. It's a 50-50 whether or not they're going to win, although I bet the betting money in Vegas is that they probably will. But yeah, you don't, imagine you go and it's a 12-0 Yankees bullpen game blowout, and they leave Honeywell out there to take, the punishment. I don't know that I will have felt that my $60,000 was a good investment at that point.
Every Dodger fan for Game 1 that was at that's priceless.
Well, yeah, that's the flip side. You end up with something like that, and I don't know.
You know what?
So I can go back.
There's hardly even a play, even that play at home plate where he stuck out his hand. There weren't even any exciting plays to really discuss. So I think we should change the topic to the Dwayne Wade statue in Miami, because
I see.
Wait a minute.
Now that
First time guest comes on and starts changing topics. That's a thing now. I didn't realize.
I'm sorry. I was just saying because
your own stream, I guess.
Yeah, I'll get.
Hey, Amy, how about the Lakers are losing by 1 with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter? We could just follow the Lakers game and keep talking.
As a former sportscaster, Mitch is used to bringing us late breaking scores. He's always updating. He's got a producer up there with him. Maybe it's Morgan. I don't know. He could send you a text or something with updates. Look. What it comes down to is, again, the series has had a couple of great moments and a lot of nothing. And you're right, Amy. It was such build, with such hype as this Ohtani Judge showdown. The 2 biggest superstars in the game, and neither of them have really lived up to it so far. Maybe there's another moment coming for Aaron or Shohei, but for starter, or for where the series stands now, I think we're looking at a pretty easy Dodger victory. And one kind of crazy moment. The thing about the Gibson moment compared to the Freeman moment, the 88 Dodgers were not supposed to win that series.
No.
The 88 Dodgers were underdogs. They had one good, outstanding pitcher and one fired up, injured, operational leader, and 24 guys like Mickey Hatcher. And that was it. They were scrappy. They were, what was the chance of them, beating the mighty A's? It was so, improbable.
Yeah.
So to speak, Vin. But yeah, this team, I don't know that the Freeman moment will have the same lasting impact, although it truly was an amazing baseball moment. It's a moment for a team that is expected to win. A team that is the most, has a $700 million designated hitter, and a $400 million pitcher, or whatever. It's just not going to, I don't think, have the same kind of lasting impact as the Gibson homer. But only time will tell, I suppose. The Dodgers have to finish off this World Series first.
And the Gibson homer went hand in hand with the movie that had come out. So it's like, this is just like as dramatic as possible. That just happened in a movie we saw, and then he does what he does. So it just all correlated well together. But no, that drama, the expectation for this team, yay, spend a lot of money, supposed to win it, but they'd have no pitching, and then all of a sudden it's like they have just the best pitching going on. And again, to be able to turn it like they did in the Padres series is surprising to even we Dodger fans who just want to look at things with our heart. And they turned it, and they have sustained it.
Yeah. No, it has been really it's been a fun series for a Dodger fan to watch. But
I'll ask you this, Dodger
yeah.
fans. My sister said,
Please.
"Oh, if the Dodgers win tomorrow and the next, they won't win at home." And I'm like, they don't care. If
Yeah,
you're going to win the World
trophy.
Series, win it anyway. Just win the World
Right.
Series.
They got clubs in New York,
Does
don't
it
they?
matter to you? Maybe they should throw these next two games so they can win in LA, right?
No. Yeah. No,
No.
it is a thing unique to sports fans, I think. And of course, winning at home, or, my original prediction for the series was Dodgers in 6. And I thought, oh, that would be nice because, they'll be able to win it at home if it does go that
Dodgers
way.
in 4.
I think it might be Dodgers in 4, minimum 5. I just don't see them losing twice in a row to this team as currently constituted, and their constitution
Think
is not
about
great.
it. If the Yankees are to win this World Series, they got to win 4 games in a row, and they barely showed up in the first 3. So
Yeah.
no.
It's not looking great for your New York Yankees. We're going to try to get my pal Stu back on, who is a Yankee fan. Stu will be here, I think, tomorrow night to give us the Yankee perspective. We'll see if they get a little bit of a kick in the pants, and
I'm
get
sorry,
going.
Stu. I feel for you, Stu, if you're out there
I know it's tough to be a Yankee fan right now. Tougher still to be an Aaron Judge fan. Mitch, what have you ever seen an athlete go this, bereft on a big stage like this, of which, so much was expected, and then just have a complete meltdown like this?
I would just have to start looking at past World Series and look at numbers, but no, not off. Just again to the point where he's just hasn't been able to get on base. Well, he did tonight. He walked, so that was. But then, Amy, you said it perfectly. That Ohtani's like 1 for his last 11. He hasn't been needed. He did start that one round and hit that double when they're back at Dodger Stadium. And Judge just hasn't been okay. Well, on the front end, Soto, okay, you still have to pitch to him, and Soto's been okay. But the one who's really played well in the World Series is Stanton. He's got a couple more hits tonight. And then what it is, but on both sides of them, is that core that needs to be hitting is not. And he's just, as I said, 3 games and what it's doing mentally. So he's just completely off balance, wondering what will it take just to get back into it. He just can't even get a base hit to get him through this kind of funk that he's just missing pitches on.
Yeah. I heard a lot of talk, and maybe from a baseball strategy perspective, Amy, a lot of talk about flipping Judge up to the number 2 spot and dropping Soto below him because Soto's, hitting so well. Maybe that would give Judge some more pitches to hit or something. Do you think Aaron Boone is going to be in for the Dave Roberts treatment of like, oh my God, what are you doing, Aaron? You're not managing at all.
I would have, after 1 game, made the move. I don't think he can make that move with 1 game left to play and it being a must-win game. I think that could make it worse for Aaron if he's feeling either any self-imposed or external pressure. I just think that is like, oh God, now they've changed. I'm in a different spot in the lineup. I'm really going to have to. I don't know.
And I know Harold
Mitch, what do
Reynolds
you think?
on the pregame show was on the MLB pregame show was huge into it, but also huge that Booney wasn't going to do it. You know, his whole opinion was basically, yeah, you gotta swap that guy out and just move him up, try something different. What you're doing isn't working. So you gotta, give him a different look at it. See if you can get more comfortable, get him some more pitches, put somebody really dangerous, and he does it. He is protected behind, with Stanton behind,
Yes.
but
Yeah. He
Soto
just
Stanton
the
behind him. It might be even, and the righty lefty matchup might also help him in that way too. But I don't know.
this group has carried you for great success, and now when you look at it, the Dodger pitching has just eliminated their ability to get any momentum going, and so you want to say, all right, and if you start making moves, it's like, what are we going to panic now?
Right.
These guys know how to
Yes,
hit.
yes.
The Dodger pitching staff, they are coming at, and the Dodger pitching staff has exceeded all expectations
Yeah.
on the starters. The bullpen has done what the bullpen's going to do, and every team they can shut them down. So it's really more what the Dodgers have done, not what the Yankees haven't done. Obviously, the Yankees get the bad end of this because they're not executing, but the credit goes to what the pitching is doing to the Yankees hitting. And so good pitching always overcomes any kind of good hitting. And then the Yankees just can't even get a pitching staff going. What they do have a chance is if they can somehow pull tomorrow's game, then they get to throw Cole in, the fifth game. So if they win this one, now you got your best starter going again at home, and maybe you pull off two and you go back to LA down 3-2, and then you come back with Rondon, and you have another opportunity. But I just think this Dodger lineup, you have Edman hitting ninth. I mean, there are no easy outs. And the Dodgers, I think the one move tonight that you can question is you have two on, nobody out, or first and third, nobody out, and Edmonds butting.
Well, yeah.
Let's hit.
Let's talk a little bit more about that play. Call me crazy. I remember this being the year that Major League Baseball was going to crack down on blocking the play and all that stuff. Where did that all go? Did that disappear? Do they not care anymore? Or
I don't know if you were listening. I was listening on the radio, obviously, and Rick Monday just kept bringing it up to a very good analytical standpoint. Is you're impeding someone's progress to come to home plate. And if that isn't the definition of what you're not supposed to do, because the runner has no access to home plate, it should have been overruled. And when it wasn't, he just said, why do we even have the rule? Because it doesn't make any sense right now.
Yeah. I think, to me, it looked like, first off, it looked like he got his hand in there.
Yeah. Yes.
His hand didn't stop before it got to the plate. Otherwise, it would be, compacted like something. Obviously, his hand was there. Secondly, if you're, do the opposite thought experiment. If Lux had gone full Pete Rose into Ray Fosse, what would have happened? Oh my God, it would have been a complete violation of the Buster Posey rule, et cetera, et cetera. But I thought the compromise was we were going to leave the runner a way to get to the base.
Yeah.
And there's all this stuff about, and I'm on some of the umpire forums, after big critical, calls just to kind of see what, people who are really into rules and stuff are saying. And it's always about how, well, if the act of catching it carries you into the thing, then you're allowed. Look, it's either yes or no. Do you want this or do you not want this? If you want that, great. Let him block the base and then let the runner knock the player over. But if you don't want that, then what's going on? And I didn't hear, sometimes I heard during the regular season on challenge calls, the Los Angeles is challenging both the out call at home plate and challenging whether or not there was a blocking violation. Like they break it up into two different challenges, usually. I only heard the one tonight challenging the out call. I didn't hear that they had necessarily challenged that whether or not there was a blocking violation. So I'm going to be interested to see what the post-game, kind of analysis of all that is, because, you're right. We did have the, Jeffrey Mayer part 2, lean over the fence home run controversy, but other than that, it's been a a bad World Series for weird rules violations also.
You know, and if we can figure this out, then I think we have a show on what is holding in the NFL. Let's do that
Yeah.
because everything's holding.
Uh, everything is holding. There's holding on every play. It's just whether or not they want to
Yeah.
call it. My friend Sergio, a KNBCer from way back when. Sergio, thank you very much for tuning in. Hi, Colin. Great show. Well, thank you very much. It is. I've got great friends, and that makes it a great show. I do want to bring in one more report from New York City. We
Good.
do have an update from Alana Campbell, who was kind enough to watch the game tonight at her favorite taqueria, St. Mark's, right there, the Dodger bar of all Dodger bars in New York City. And as always, I don't know what is she, I don't foreshadowing these things? Does she know? Does she have them, like hit, a 30-second delay on the DVR at the bar and then watches the game and then starts her video because she knows something good is about to happen? I don't know. But we do have, once again, a Freddie Freeman reaction video from tonight's game 3, first inning homer. Let's go to the videotape. So as always, a lot of support for Freddie there in New York City at the Taqueria St. Mark's, I believe it's called. And another big victory for the Dodgers tonight as they take a commanding 3-0 lead in the 2024 World Series. Before we go, Amy, give me your final thoughts on what the season has been like for you, just as a baseball fan. When you think back about the 2024 season, what are you going to remember most?
Well, the Phillies got off to an incredible start. All I ask, I can't believe I'm saying this. I love for the Phillies to be in the World Series, to win the World Series. All I ask is just be in it in the season. Give us a lot to cheer about. And for us, it was, can we win the National League East? Granted, the Braves were hurt in ways. You think the Dodgers had injuries, so did the Braves in that way. But the fact that the Phillies won the National League East, which didn't get them anywhere, but they're in it, and we got in the playoffs fine. That is all I ask, that we have these high-dollar, exciting talent to watch. Just give us something to be excited about, and it was very exciting watching the Phillies.
Yeah, I think it was a good year for Phillies fans. I'm sorry that someone in your neighborhood apparently had an accident right outside there.
Yeah, it was the
Car alarm.
The beauty of living on a major Los Angeles street.
That is right.
Mitch, same question, 2024. It's not over yet, but boy, somebody tell the fat lady she's on in 5. What are you feeling about highlights, lowlights, relights, new lights, Friday night lights, whatever you're thinking?
Yes, whoever leaves the light on for you. First of all, the biggest highlight is there is an Amy, and I see what Amy is, and I think, okay, that means the World Series is coming to a close because it doesn't get any better than this. Okay, with that said, the emotional part of this, Colin, is I'm getting pro-clipped, man. It's because we're like 1 win away, and our little show goes away. It'll be another 10 years till we have another show, and then I won't remember your name, and whatever you ask me, I won't remember. So I'm just going with what we know. But in all honesty, is when the Dodgers signed Ohtani, and the anticipation and what the Dodgers put together, and most importantly is now, as you alluded to earlier, the 55 Dodgers that are trying to heal themselves, and how they kept manufacturing. Yes, they're good, but where are they going to get arms? But they have such depth. And so when you start looking at next year and all these arms that can get healthy, you're going to go with a 6-man rotation because Yamamoto is going to need 6 days, and so is Ohtani. But if you get Gonsolin back, you get May back, you just keep going, and oh yeah, this Kershaw guy will come back.
Yeah.
And do you go pick up another pitcher? You've got enough arms, enough established bullpen. Your minor league system is so strong with other arms. The biggest disappointment this year was Miller. He just couldn't get things going. But
Yeah.
you can have so many arms in which to interact with and move around. So that bullpen will only be stronger. And you wonder, will they find a closer? Do they need to find a closer? They're onto this rhythm. But I think they'll start the season with 6 starters and see if all their arms are healthy, and they will go get one more bat.
Ooh,
Teoscar
prediction.
is like, okay, do you pick him up for 30 million? I think that's where Soto comes into play. The Dodgers can do it. You've got all that money left over, so to speak, from Ohtani. And you're either going to go get him, or you're going to go get Adams from Milwaukee to play shortstop. They'll do something which is one more step to complement. Because boy, if they walked into Edmond, which is great, you keep Hernandez, you got these role guys, and you get another year at third of a healthy Muncy. I mean, they're set. And as Ohtani said when he came and signed with the Dodgers, he wants his legacy over 10 years. I want to win 3 world championships. This team is set to just stay on this roll. Even with some key injuries, they have too many good players that can step up.
Yeah, given how the general feeling around Dodger fandom has been over the last couple of years, it is difficult. I heard the thing tonight, 2017, 2018, 2020, right? And now 2024. They've been to the World Series a lot in the last 10 years. It doesn't feel like it, maybe because they only won the one in 2020, but yeah, I think the plan is working. Keep going with the plan. I'm on board. If Dave, I'm slowly getting won over to Dave Roberts' corner. I thought he was perhaps a little under managery for them. I thought they might have needed a little more active manager, but as many reporters have noted, he is managing 2 things: club on the field and the front office. At the same time, because it is very much a front office driven franchise.
And Mark Pryor, their pitching coach.
Oh, fantastic!
You want to say, oh my goodness, is he going to be the scapegoat in all this? And he's anything but. Let me tell you, they have manufactured all of this to work, which means they now have a game plan in place for the years to come. And they did it with a piecemeal pitching staff, and now these guys are more refined. And so now you have that, again, that working model. And let's put some starting pitchers in that can go 6 innings, but they're all going to get like 5 days rest. So that long haul will work because they have the arms to do it. And they're going to hit.
Yeah. It'll be exciting to see Ohtani on the mound next spring. I won't deny that I'm excited to see what he can bring, there. And even if the recovery is slow and like Walker Buehler slow, as we saw tonight, Walker got there. And I don't know if he's going to get back to full, Buehler, but he was really, really good tonight.
Well, he's a free agent. They'll re-sign him. They'll sign him. They'll sign Flaherty. They'll do that because you also look at what Dave Roberts has said. This whole group of guys has been a delight. They have a certain chemistry, and so you like what you have in the clubhouse. And I don't think you're going to disrupt that too much because they've proven they can compete, they can win, and they have just that, that explanation using the F word enough times that they grind.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes.
I got to say this. I have on the TV, I have MLB Network on, and their question that they're discussing, I don't know what they're saying. I'm not suggesting we should discuss it because it's ridiculous, is Ohtani's 1 for 11 in 3 games. Should he be in the starting lineup in game 4?
Yeah. Yeah.
He should. There's no discussion.
That's not a discussion. That's a fake discussion for TV. This is the TV show or the show, the streaming show that will tell you the truth. Of course he should be in the lineup. If he can,
that's right.
He should be in the lineup.
The only thing we hide here is ourselves. Other than that, everything's fair game.
Right.
And and 2 things to say. Actually, I have about 10, but you know me. I could go on. I'll do 2. One
Yeah.
is shout out to Salvatore Perez, who won the Roberto Clemente Award
Yes.
today.
Yeah.
Yay for him.
Love Salvi.
And
Love him. Great guy.
the second thing is a journalist. Can't remember, one of these guys who owns like Politico or Bulwark or whatever it is. He was
Right.
at the game tonight tweeting, and he said it may have been sold out, but there were a lot of empty seats. He didn't
Interesting.
know if it's because people just on a Monday night. And I'm like, it's a World Series. And
Yeah.
and actually, it was about the seventh inning. They had a big wide shot of the stadium. And I said to my sister, like, there are empty seats. I know it is a Monday night. People work,
Yeah.
people go to school. It appears they're going to lose. But again, if that were like Phillies fans giving up on my team, I just,
Oh.
boo. That's
Oh.
bad. That
It
is
was
bad. And so
could
I'm
I
only going off what that guy tweeted, and then what I
Yeah.
saw. Maybe it's not so. I hope it's not so. I don't know what it means, but in any case.
Oh, it's good.
I would like being the sports person, and I don't have a Laker update, but here's a stat that was given to me by my little own ESPN group, which is Morgan and my other son, Michael. Here you go. Thursday, Kings win, Rams win. Friday, Dodgers win, Lakers win, USC wins. Saturday, Dodgers win, Lakers win, Clippers win, Kings win, and Galaxy win. Sunday, Chargers win, Clippers win, LAFC wins. That collection of 4 days in a row where LA teams, none of them lose.
Yeah.
That'll never happen. That is a modern miracle.
Yes.
That just is.
Yes, given some of those, I'm sorry, given those football teams, yes, it's a modern miracle.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sorry, I'm an Eagles fan. They're the best team that ever was. So yeah, but no.
Morgan
No.
says,
Colin, one other thing. Did you see this person was saying if the Dodgers win, they should have the victory parade at ... Wait for it. Disneyland?
no.
No, because no one could afford to go to the parade.
Number
And number
one.
two, it's not in Los Angeles.
Number three, there's a team associated with Disneyland. It was owned by the Angels or the Disney team.
It is it just I don't know. That was crazy. But
Bad idea.
and Colin, did you get at the farmer's market? They had a Dodgers sign.
We were talking about this earlier too. The community support. That
civic pride. Boo.
Yes.
In
A town like LA.
Well, my sister was asking why, because I said, I'm taking a picture of this. There's actually like a banner. And again, if Philadelphia were so fantastic, I would move back. But when I was there a month ago for my high school reunion, the Phillies were still playing in the regular season.
Right.
The Eagles were just getting going. And everywhere you went, yard signs on churches, go Phils, go Eagles, yay. Sixers weren't coming, we just started basketball. It was pervasive, and there's nothing like that here. And I said to my sister,
we have a beach. We have a beach.
Why is it? And it was like, well, maybe some people say there are other distractions, but I'm like, people at Ralph's, make your cashiers wear Dodger stuff. I just like the civic pride thing.
I do know that on Sundays at Ralph's, they do tend to wear football jerseys, but they're
their
favorite
but
team.
The Dodgers are going to win the World Series.
Well, Amy, I know this is going to be surprising to you, a Philly gal, but LA is a city of transplants. There are a lot of people who come here.
Yes, that is true.
Places. And it is very, there may be pockets of LA where Angelenos, native longtime residents, may have a slightly more developed sense of civic engagement and or public support for the local franchises. But, everybody who comes to LA, is a part of LA, but also a part of something else.
True, but that wouldn't explain businesses, churches,
there's
libraries.
There's too much competition for the entertainment dollar.
Yes, I think there is something to that.
Yeah, and it is. There's 20 other things you can do.
Right.
Okay, I go to the Dodgers. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to go to the beach. There's just all these geographical things in which to do and be outdoors.
It's true. And I do think, it doesn't matter. This is an observation of, it's just why. It's not better or worse, good or bad. But I'm guessing if the Dodgers win the World Series and if there's a parade downtown, it would pale in comparison to parades in other.
Of course,
Yeah.
And
because
it makes me sad at
bandwagon.
being a member
It's a
of the
bandwagon
community.
state.
Yeah.
I want to see, the community just turn out. So anyway,
Well,
it doesn't diminish the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are very deserving. I'm so happy for all of my friends. Colin, you know that. But I
I
really
do.
want the Dodgers to win for my friends because I know what that's like. It's so exciting. It's really wonderful. I just wish the series were a little more. We've been there.
Amy, I'm my mother raised me in such good ways. My parents did never to ask someone their age, but I would like to ask, what year did you graduate from high school?
Recently.
1974, way
Okay,
back in the 20th
well,
century.
well, it's all right. I'm a couple years right after you, so it's all
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
70s,
Yeah,
all right, BGs. Let's just go off on music now. Yeah.
exactly.
Well, listen, this 80s kid is going to have to call a halt to this 70s reunion here. But
Because you're old and you're tired. That's what you're
yes,
saying.
well, and speaking of old and tired, though, Amy, maybe part of what you're discussing is that in the seventh inning when you're at the 14th pitching change and it's 11:30, at night on the East Coast,
Yeah.
it's late. These games, 8 o'clock is not a good time to start a baseball game that starts at 8:20. After
Not
you do
good.
the pregame and all the stuff, it's like, that's late, man. That's that, So, and I know
No,
too,
listen, when I was a kid, and of course you didn't have access the way you do now on all these different ways, I would have to go to bed and the Phillies and Dodgers game had just started. And my
Right.
dad would wake me up the next day and say, "Hon, the Phillies, they won." It was always, but I couldn't ever anything, west of the Mississippi. It was weird. Yeah, it was,
Right.
that was late. But
when I
I
did my
think that.
oh,
Please
sorry, I
go
was going to
ahead.
say, no, when I did my sports internship at WRC in Washington, D.C., we'd
Yeah.
work a full day, get the 11 o'clock news on, go home, and it was midnight, and I'd still have plenty of time to watch like West Coast baseball for the next hour or two. And
Colin,
it was like, oh wow, it really is on late at night here. This is crazy, but
Colin, speaking of WRC, the segue, I wanted to bring this up before you brought that up. So
all right,
this even is a better segue
sure.
is thank you for your George Michael Sports Machine intro into your sister's video. Thank you.
Yes. Let's go to the machine. I should actually just set it
That's
up
right.
that way as a tribute to my former mentor.
And Colin, did you know that George Michael was a DJ in Philadelphia before he became a sportscaster and went to WRC? Did you know that?
I
George
believe we have
Michael
talked about
at
this before, yes.
WIBG Wibbage in Philadelphia. It was Wibbage.
Bringing all
Remember
the hits.
George Michael?
All the hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. George was a kick in the
Yes.
pants. But you know what? Maybe in the off season we'll get together. We'll do a podcast dedicated just solely to crazy stories from broadcasting, and I will do one. I'll give you my all time George Michael stories, which are
And I'll tell
good
you
stuff.
that the weatherman at WPVI, the ABC station in Philadelphia, his
Yeah.
name is actually his name was Roberts. His son is David Boreanaz.
Oh,
from
the actor who plays Angel
Bones, the Bones
and
guy.
Bones and
Yes,
SEAL Team whatever for CBS.
and another famous DJ in Philadelphia, Jim O'Brien, who became the weatherman at WPVI Channel 6 in Philadelphia. His daughter is Perry Gilpin on Frasier. So I don't know what it is about the Philadelphia anchorman weatherman, but there you go.
Well, that's great. This has
How
been a
about
great
that?
edition of Philadelphia Media History Chat. I
Colin,
do
Colin,
appreciate. Yes, Mitch.
I
Mitch,
am
please.
What am I
totally
doing?
amazed by how you
No,
designed the
that's
show
Perry
to stay
Gilpin.
to the script.
Oh, hold
Well
on.
done.
Yeah.
Hey, Amy, somebody else
Yes.
is talking. All right, go ahead, Mitch.
I just want to say that it fascinates me, much like the documentary I just saw on Bruce Springsteen, how there's so much ad-libbing, but somehow this entire show you put together stays on script. I don't know how you do it,
Well,
but it just does.
yeah, it's a little like herding cats tonight, but I do love you guys. I do love you. So that makes it a lot easier. So anyhow, all right. Well, we did final thoughts. I'm still sticking with Dodgers in 5, I guess now. Mitch, you're up to Dodgers in 4. Sweep tomorrow?
Well, it's not going to be 7. So
Yeah.
let's just go to the other opposite end and say 4. Sure.
Dodgers weren't. And
I
Amy,
say
you're
4.
definitely you think New York is dead and buried. All right. We'll see how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, there they are. the best panel in all of fake showdom. Nick Massey, Amy Huggins. I really appreciate you both joining me tonight, and maybe I will see one or both of you tomorrow. Does that sound good?
Colin, could you just tell
Yeah.
our 3.7 million
Yeah.
listeners and viewers, this has been total AI, so hey, we're good.
Exactly. None of this was real. It was all AI. I'll feed this into the computer and get a coherent version out of it and then repost that. So, all right,
Amy,
guys.
nice to meet you. Yeah.
You too, Mitch. Enjoyed it. Good night, guys.
Colin,
Good
see you
night.
tomorrow night.
See you
man.
tomorrow. All right, that's Mitch Massey and Amy Huggins, the best of the best. Super excited and super lucky to have run into people like that during my career in television, such as it was. And then that is it. I think, unless anybody else has any other comments, let's double check the comments. Morgan Massey, get out the broom, baby. We will get out the broom. The broom will be on hot standby. I do think there's a very good chance for the Dodgers to wrap it up tomorrow night. And that would mean the end of this little show. But I am willing to make that sacrifice in order for the Dodgers to bring home a world championship. Okay, you know the drill. Tomorrow night, the Dodger game starts at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, or 8:30, or whenever they finally get around to it. We will be live right here on the platform that you're watching this on right now. Immediately afterwards, those platforms include, but are not limited to, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, another Facebook, Instagram, of all things, and many more. So I encourage you to like, subscribe, smash that subscribe button, as the kids like to say. Go ahead. Why not? What do you got to lose? And thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight for continued silliness. Until tomorrow night, when perhaps the World Series will be over. Come on, Dodgers. We will see you then, and I wish you all a very pleasant good night.